My husband just sent me 5 million naira. He said I should enjoy myself. Now, wow, this your husband is an Odogwu. Daniel, no the rest. Ah, you can say that again. That's so.
Everyone at the table went quiet when Amaka dropped her phone face up. Another alert came in. She didn't rush to pick it. She let it ring. Then she smiled slowly and said, "Sorry, that's my husband again." One of her friends laughed. Daniel know the rest. Amaka finally picked the phone, looked at the screen, and shook her head. "This man is too much," she said casually. "He said I should enjoy myself today." "How much?" someone asked. Amaka hesitated, not because she was shy, but because she enjoyed the moment. 5 million naira, she said. The table exploded. Daniel Morrison was not loud. He didn't spray money in clubs. He didn't shout online. He wore plain clothes, drove clean cars, and spoke softly. But contractors feared him. Banks respected him. Clients trusted him. He was an engineer who built roads, estates, and government projects. And when he married Amaka, he decided to marry her fully. No secrets, he told her one night. "If you are my wife, you should know everything." That was how he handed her his ATM cards. That was how he handed her fingerprints to his banking app. That was how trouble entered the house quietly. At first, Daniel didn't complain. New phones, designer bags, hair appointments that lasted all day. He would ask gently, "Did you enjoy your day?" "Yes," Amaka would answer. "Isn't that what matters?" Daniel would nod, but enjoyment soon became competition. Amaka started checking her friends' lives like a scoreboard. If someone bought a car, she needed a better one. If someone traveled, she needed business class. Not because she lacked, but because she wanted to show she married well. Amaka stood in front of the mirror at the wig store, touching the long bone straight wig like it was gold. "Is this human hair?" she asked. "Yes, madam. Original," the sales girl replied. "How much?" 2 million naira. Amaka smiled. "Wrap it." Her friend Linda gasped. "Ah, Amaka, you know they fear." Fear? That word didn't live in Amaka's dictionary. "My husband is an Odogwu," she said calmly. "Why should I fear weak price?" Another day, another shop. Amaka sprayed perfume on her wrist. "What brand is this?" she asked. The attendant lowered his voice. "French. Very rare." "How much?" 900,000. She nodded. "I'll take two." Linda blinked. "Two?" "One for bedroom, one for car," Amaka replied. Then she turned, pointed at a shelf of designer bags. "Pack those three too." They sat at a cafe later. Linda stirred her drink. "So, what if one day your husband asks you to work?" Amaka laughed loudly. "Work? Me?" She leaned back. "I didn't marry to suffer. I married peace. If money finishes, he will make more." She took a sip. "I'll never work. Not now, not ever." At home, the nanny walked up to Amaka. "Madam, school sent message." Amaka barely looked up. "What is it?" "School trip for the twins. 2 million." She waved her hand. "Pay it." Another message came. "New school uniforms. Imported textbook. After school coding classes." Amaka nodded. "Add swimming too." Money moved like water in that house. One evening, Daniel came back late. He dropped his bag and sat quietly. Amaka noticed the silence. "Are you okay?" she asked Daniel. Daniel looked at her. "You spent 12 million today," she shrugged. "And? And you didn't ask." Amaka laughed. "Why should I ask? It's our money." Daniel leaned forward. "That 12 million was client money." She waved it off. "You always say client money, client money. Money is money." Daniel went quiet. That silence stayed in the house for days. That night, Daniel spoke again. Amaka, expenses are too much. She moved closer, touched his chest. Baby, relax, she said softly. You work too hard. Don't let money stress you. Daniel sighed. You don't understand. She kissed his cheek. Sleep. Tomorrow will be better, okay? She walked away smiling. Another day, another complaint. You bought 3 watches in 1 week, Daniel said. Amaka turned sharply. So what? So what? He repeated. Yes, so what? She snapped. Am I stealing? Am I cheating? Or is it your money? Daniel went quiet. She folded her arms. If you can't afford my lifestyle, you should have married another woman. Those words never left Daniel's mind. Daniel kept trusting her. He believed she would learn. He believed talking softly would help. Amaka, let's plan. Amaka, let's slow down. Amaka, I am under pressure. But she heard none of it. To her, an Odogwu complaining meant only one thing. He was pretending. At a birthday party, Amaka arrived late with her kids. Designer clothes, matching sneakers, gold bracelets. Someone whispered, these children live better than adults. Amaka smiled proudly. My kids deserve the best, she said. Their father is not a small man. She bent down to her son. Tell them who your daddy is. The boy smiled. My daddy builds big houses. The alert came in on a Tuesday morning. 900 million naira. Payment for a major contract. Daniel was in a meeting. Amaka stared at the phone for a long time. Then she dressed up. At the car dealership, the salesman smiled. This one just came in, he said. She didn't bargain, she paid. That evening, Daniel stood in front of the house and stared at the car. Where did this come from? He asked. Amaka smiled proudly. I bought it. With which money? She paused. The money that came today. Daniel closed his eyes. That was the day something broke inside him. Dinner was quiet. The children ate happily, laughing with the nanny. Amaka scrolled through her phone, replying messages. Daniel pushed his food aside. Do you know how much I owe right now? He asked calmly. Amaka didn't look up. You always say that. I am serious. She sighed and finally raised her head. Daniel, you worry too much. You are an Odogwu. People like you don't go broke. The children kept eating. Daniel watched them, then looked back at his wife. They are growing, he said. They will need stability. They already have it, Amaka replied. Look at them. Daniel said nothing more. The sound of cutlery filled the space where understanding should have been. Later that night, Amaka sat on the bed, counting her new purchases, bags neatly arranged, shoes lined up like trophies, watches in boxes. Daniel watched her quietly. You don't get tired of buying? He asked. She smiled. This is my joy. And what about my joy? He asked. She looked at him confused. Providing is your joy, she said simply. Daniel lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. That was when he realized they spoke 2 different languages. The following weekend, the children ran to their father. Daddy, Mommy said we are going abroad for holidays. Daniel froze. Abroad? He repeated. Amaka laughed from the couch. They deserve it. Daniel forced a smile for the kids. We will see, he said. The children cheered and ran off. Daniel turned to Amaka. You should ask me before promising, she frowned. Why? You always make it happen. Daniel looked away. This time he didn't answer. At a small gathering, Amaka sat with her clique. They admired her wristwatch. Your husband is trying, oh, one of them said. Amaka laughed. Trying? He's just starting. You don't plan to work at all? Another asked. She waved her hand. Work for what? My job is to enjoy life. They laughed. Amaka laughed with them. But when she got home and saw Daniel sitting alone in the living room, the laughter stayed outside. Daniel stood up when she entered. We need to talk, he said gently. She dropped her bag. You always say that. He took a deep breath. I feel alone in this marriage. Amaka blinked. You are not alone. You have me. You have the kids. That's not what I mean. She crossed her arms. Then explain it well. I need partnership, he said, not pressure. Amaka stared at him. You want me to start suffering with you? No, he replied quickly. I want you to understand. She shook her head. I don't understand men that complain too much. Daniel felt something sink inside him. That night, they slept on the same bed, but their backs faced each other. No arguments, no apology, no touch, just distance. Daniel stayed awake after Amaka slept. He wasn't angry, he was tired, and tired people make quiet decisions. Daniel's phone rang while he was brushing his teeth. He stared at the screen for a moment before answering. Good morning, sir, he said. There was no greeting on the other end. You collected my money, the client said sharply. Where is my project? Daniel closed his eyes. I am working on it. There were delays. Delays? The man interrupted. I gave you 900 million naira. You promised delivery. Daniel swallowed. I didn't divert your work. I will fix this. You have 1 week, the client replied, or I involve the police. The line went dead. Daniel stood there for a long time, toothbrush still in his hand. When Daniel stepped outside later that morning, the new car sat in front of the house, shining. Neighbors admired it. Daniel didn't. He stood beside it, remembering the alert, the same money, the same 900 million. He touched the bonnet lightly, like it might burn him. This car, he whispered, is trouble. Inside the house, Amaka was choosing shoes. Daniel found Amaka in the walk-in closet. Do you remember the car you bought? He asked. She didn't turn. Yes. That money was for a client. She sighed loudly. You've said this before. That client is threatening prison, Daniel said quietly. She turned sharply. So now you are blaming me? I am explaining the danger. Amaka folded her arms. You said you would handle it. I tried. Then try harder, she snapped. Don't bring your work stress into my life. Daniel stared at her. This time, he didn't reply. Calls came in endlessly. Suppliers, workers, the clients. Daniel's phone barely rested. Amaka noticed the tension but responded with irritation. Why are you always on the phone? She complained. You are becoming boring. I am trying to save us. She scoffed. Save yourself. I can't reduce my life because of your business problems. Her words hung in the air. They didn't land softly. I am tired, he said. Not of work, of this. She scoffed. So now I am a problem? You don't respect money, he replied. You don't respect effort. Amaka stood up. Then why did you marry me? Daniel looked at her for a long time. I married a woman, he said, not a project. The children noticed the change. Daddy, are we still traveling? One asked. Daniel forced a smile. We will talk about it. Amaka laughed. Of course we are. Daniel looked at her surprised. She leaned closer and whispered, Don't embarrass me in front of the kids. That night, Daniel sat alone with the children's school bills spread out on the table. He rubbed his forehead. The numbers refused to cooperate. Amaka returned home one afternoon with shopping bags. Daniel stared at them. Again? He asked. She dropped them. Don't start. I am begging you to slow down. She raised her voice. Slow down to what? Poverty? She stood up. This pressure is killing me. She laughed, sharp and quick. Men like you don't die from pressure. You just like complaining. Something in Daniel finally cracked, but quietly. The client didn't call this time. He sent a message. If I don't see progress, I involve authorities. Daniel read it twice. Then he read it again. He looked around the house, the furniture, the lights, the comforts. None of it helped him now. That evening, Daniel tried to speak again. Amaka, I need peace. She didn't look up from her phone. You need money, not peace. I need space, he said. She frowned. For what? To think. She laughed. You want to run away because you can't keep up? Daniel nodded slowly. Maybe. Her laughter stopped. The argument that followed was not loud. It was heavy. That night, Daniel tried again. We need to talk. Amaka rolled her eyes. Not again. We are sinking, he said. She raised her voice. Stop blaming me for your business problems. Daniel stood up. I am not blaming you. I am asking for support. She shouted back. I am your wife, not your accountant. The children woke up crying. You want me to live small? Amaka asked. I want you to live wisely, Daniel replied. I didn't marry wisdom, she said. I married comfort. Daniel exhaled deeply. That sentence settled everything. Daniel didn't pack immediately. He slept on the couch. He woke up early. He stayed out late. Each moment added weight to the decision. The client pressure, the unpaid work, the constant demands. By the time he finally packed a bag, the decision had already been made many times in his heart. In the early hours of the morning, Daniel sat in the living room, laptop open, bank app glowing. He looked at the numbers, then at the children's photos, then at the bedroom door. He whispered to himself, this can't continue. His fingers moved slowly. Access revoked. Limit set. Cards flagged. When he closed the laptop, he looked lighter and sadder. He left a note. Nothing long, nothing dramatic. I need to fix my life before it destroys me. Amaka read it and laughed. He will be back, she said. She didn't know the cost had finally become too high. Amaka woke up smiling. She reached for her phone. No alert. She refreshed. Nothing. She frowned slightly, then shrugged. He's probably busy. She dressed up to go out. Confidence steady. She reached the fuel station. Her card declined. She tried again. Nothing. Her smile faded slowly. For the first time, Luxury didn't answer her call. Amaka sat in the car for a while after the attendant walked away. People behind her were already murmuring. Madam, abeg move, someone said. She smiled awkwardly, nodded and drove off. Her phone was in her hand almost immediately. She refreshed her banking app. Nothing. She tried another card. Still nothing. Her fingers tightened around the steering wheel. This is a mistake, she muttered. Daniel must have done something temporary. That was what she told herself. She still went to meet her friends. She couldn't cancel. That would look weak. At the restaurant, everyone waited for her to order. Nothing for you, Amaka? The waiter asked. She glanced at the menu longer than usual. Just water, she said. Her friends looked up. Only water? Amaka laughed lightly. I am watching my weight. They nodded, but something felt off. When the bill came, she reached for her bag slowly. Then she stopped. Linda, she said softly, can you help me pay? I forgot my wallet. Linda hesitated. Ah, okay. Amaka smiled, but her chest burned. This had never happened before. Back home, the house felt bigger and emptier. The nanny approached her carefully. Madam, light bill people came. Amaka waved her hand. Letter. The nanny hesitated. School also sent reminder. Amaka snapped. Didn't I say letter? The nanny walked away. Amaka sank into the couch and stared at the ceiling. For the first time, the house didn't feel like a trophy. She called Daniel. Once. Twice. He didn't pick. She sent a message. Daniel, what is going on? No reply. She typed again. This is not funny. Still nothing. Her confidence started slipping, piece by piece. Amaka stood in front of her wardrobe. The bag stared at her. The shoes, the watches. She picked one bag, then another. She wrapped them carefully. At the boutique, the woman smiled. Madam, are you selling? Amaka swallowed. Yes. The woman inspected the bag. I'll give you half of what you bought it. Amaka opened her mouth to argue. Then she closed it. Okay, she said. When she collected the money, her hands shook. This money felt different.